Good morning to all of those tuning in. This is the Rub Lemon, and today we are playing the additional dimension. So, I played a few games by this dev, and personally, I think they all have been really, really well made. And this one looks kind of out there. Essentially, long story short, Soviets create a additional dimension, or at least a gateway to an additional dimension, and it's this whole liminal space kind of deal. And I haven't played a liminal space game in a while, so with that being said, let's get right into it.
Doc, do you copy? Finally, the signal's through. Listen, the mission is about to begin, so I have to read you the protocol line by line, according to the manual. Right. Protocol 324. By order of the Institute's Party Department, regarding the implementation of the Deep Spatial Probe. 3 hours ago, our experimental team confirmed the theoretical model of Comrade Professor Yakovenko. The Lenin State Collider has successfully accelerated a particle to, exceed the speed of light, which created a breach into a completely new dimension packed inside our world. Operation Codename Expedition Number 1. The date is July 7th, 1970. It is a great honor for you to be the first human step into this new frontier of Soviet science. Your only task is to deploy the sensor array, activate the transmitter, and get the hell out. The elevator is reaching the terminal deck now. Good luck, comrades. Bring us some good data.
You know, I always appreciate some voice acting. Oh, okay, my mouse sensitivity is not that high, but it's not like it's that bad. Oh, I can run. Oh my god, look at that. We are in a little outfit.
That column, or whatever it is, will be a suitable place for a transmitter.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't these operations usually done in a team?
Okay, I can see the data is coming in. Signal is strong and steady. Good job, Doc. We're wrapping things up here. Come back to the elevator.
Oh god, the elevator's not gonna be there. Oh, we are fucked.
Comrade Petrov, we might have a problem. I don't see the exit. Comrade Petrov, do you copy? Please respond.
Damn.
Where the hell am I?
Oh shit. Okay, so we move towards a wall and things change. Oh, that is cool. I can see a wall on the other two. Or, sorry, a door on the other two walls. Oh. Oh, brother, we are fucked.
What the hell? This is our Collider project calculations. But how is this possible? Wait. The transformation matrix. It's completely different. Why would it depend on time if... Oh, God. No, no, no.
I don't know how much the dev Oh god, we're back here. I don't know how much the dev put into research about particle physics, extra dimensional math, or even just quantum physics. I will say it is all quite fascinating, if you ask me. But at the same time, fuck that bullshit. Oh god, we're just looping at this point. What really gets me is just how absolutely silent this game is. Don't get me wrong. What if we go... Okay, so nothing... Hey. God, are we just in an infinite loop? Or... Genuinely, how do we get out of this? I'll also say the transitions are very, very smooth. And I think the use of the dark hallways to hide them is stupidly clever, if not very basic at the same time. Huh. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna go backwards down one of the halls. Oh, that is new. I think. Oh, fucking hell.
What the fuck was that?
Man, that would be a great thumbnail. Except for I would get dinged for essentially using depictions of suicide. Oh, it's a fucking wall thing. Oh man, I love that so much. It's not only super cool looking, but it's just such a smooth way of having a hidden door.
How in the name of God? An established base camp? Look at those crates.
Okay, so this is December 11th, 1985. Wait, this is 15 years after we went in. Exactly 4 hours ago, we successfully breached the anomaly. Spatial deviation from the primary target coordinates was roughly 10 seconds. Well, within expected margins. We have located a sector with a Yankovenko coefficient of approximately 0.862, which makes it stable enough to hold a camp. Expedition morale is exceptionally high. Only the chief remains grim. He has been staring into that sealed KGB folder since morning. Perhaps he simply skipped sleep. Janenko, on the other hand, is practically ecstatic today. I have never seen the bastard so enthusiastic. No matter, we are standing at the absolute vanguard of the Soviet science. Our breakthroughs will permanently cement the party's dominance over the decaying West. Senior Field Engineer, Streptonov the Sixth. Cool.
1985? Is this some kind of sick joke? Wait. Those equations I saw on the walls earlier. If the variables were... Yes. God. It actually explains this. But it also means... I'm fucked.
Okay, so the very first thing we did after arriving was install this security system. Now, if you want to enter the team quarters from Sector A1, you must scan your ID card. When I asked why we even needed this, considering we're the only people here, Strupanov just said that it was a direct order from someone named Krasnov. I don't recall of any professor by that name. Okay, weird. Anyways, soon I'll be participating in my first field mission. I absolutely can't wait. A Semimov AP. Okay, so we can't get in without an ID card. However, seeing a base camp like this is both good and bad news. But that note does confirm this is at least semi-good news. As if this region is stable, that means we could at least get out. Initially, we were told that we were the first, the vanguard of the science, doing great work for the sake of the party, but right before we moved out, Colonel Krasnov from the KGB handed me a folder stamped top secret. He didn't say a word, just winked and left. Motherfucker. Turns out our expedition is the second one, and the first investigator, well, he went missing. Some physicist back in the 70s. The document states after that approximately 2 minutes, he panicked, screaming that he couldn't find the exit, then the transmission cut out, and then they never heard from him again. I understand that our theory has advanced since then. Yankonov did brilliant theoretical work. And now we know that spatial topography of this place is far more complex than we initially anticipated, but I feel deeply uneasy. Chernenko told me that he suspects that space isn't the only variable here. If he's right, we might be completely fucked. As the chief, I'm supposed to keep morale high, but it becomes difficult. It's not just space being a variable, but time. Okay, so there's the keypad. Okay, today is approximately December 25th, 1985. I fully anticipated that our watches would fail here. So, I keep track of time using alternative methods. A few days ago, the intern went scouting in Sector A1, right next to the camp. He returned, but, well, it would have been better if he hadn't. Now he just stares at the wall, occasionally screaming. I'm not entirely sure what he stumbled upon out there. The team's morale is practically non-existent at this point. They're all whispering about this place being hell, purgatory, or some kind of American trap. Every single one of their theories is absolute bullshit. Well, the fundamental nature of this anomaly remains unknown to me. I am convinced that Yankonov's calculations contain a fatal flaw. Specifically, in his transformation matrix, his equations dictate that this space is spatially unstable and that any sector with a coefficient below 0.3 should result in total material annihilation. Yet we observe no such thing. In fact, the physical environment has been exceptionally stable. The walls are solid, gravity is consistent. Yankonov missed something crucial, and I will be the one to find it. Oh my god, was that us? If that is, that means we could be looping upon ourselves, in theory. However, minimum, we know we're not getting back. Okay. December 21st, 1985, or it should be, at least. It's becoming impossible to track time here. Watches don't work. I can't even feel my pulse anymore. Most of us don't sleep. It's as if we don't need to. Communication with HQ cut out the day after we arrived. 2 other expedition members and I tried to make it back to the exit. We walked for what felt like days, only to find ourselves walking right back into camp. The chief is broken. He doesn't leave the corner he calls his office. The guys from the field team mentioned they saw someone in an older model hazmat suit in that eerie room with the holes in the wall that react to being watched. I'm so tired. The only one who is able to function is the associate professor, Chinenko. He just keeps calculating something in his quarters. He's probably gone completely insane. Senior field engineer Strafanov the Sixth. Okay, so they did see us. But the question is, when? That's a hazmat suit. Or at least the mask? Okay, so this is the January 15th, 1986. We decided to make a last attempt. When we left the camp, it was January 13th, according to Chinenko. Our whole team, except him, and Alexandrov, we walked and walked and walked. I could have sworn we had been walking for at least several months when we saw it, in the middle of the darkness, the exit, an elevator similar to the one we used to get here, but older. Maybe. It is difficult to describe how happy we were to see it. We entered the elevator and it started moving up, and then it felt like reality itself was dissolving. A loud bang, complete darkness, and the next thing I see is the ceiling of our camp. It was a dream, or rather a nightmare. I could have thought so if I hadn't seen the shock on the faces of the other crew members, who found themselves in the exact same situation. We have collectively decided to end this. Sector A1 has a Yervenko coefficient of around 0.51. In practice, they say this means that if no one observes it, it remains generally stable. If we are all dead, there'll be no one left to observe it. Hopefully, we will finally find peace. Chinenko refused the idea, but promised to avoid Sector A1 to prevent further observation side effects. Alexandrov is, well, part of this place now. Strapanov. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I absolutely despise quantum physics. I'm a genetics major through and through. So don't get me wrong, Is this stuff cool? Yes. Is it fucking bullshit? 110%. No way out. I'm starting to notice signs of someone's presence in the area. The radio's behaving erratically here, but I am receiving transmissions similar to number station broadcasts. It could be the next expedition, or perhaps the previous one. I read Alexandrov's folder he brought with him because of what I found. I have decided to abandon the main camp and continue my work from here. The specific room is fairly secure, but it is flanked by 2 sectors with Yankov coefficients of 0.11 and 0.18, respectively. At such low values, degradation is absolute. The entryways and exits are in a state of constant violent flux. Without knowing the exact sequence to bypass the anomalies, it is mathematically improbable for an outside intruder to navigate the threshold and stumble upon this location.
I can't remove the planks without a proper tool.
Good to know. I'm gonna follow the hand. I am not going to follow the hand. Okay. Hallway number 2 then?
Oh my God. A topological shift? Or a temporal anomaly?
Yeah. I'll be honest. That is not something I'm going to explain. For the main fact, I, myself, do not understand it enough to give a proper... What the actual fuck? I feel like that's what I was supposed to see. Okay, I do have to follow the hand. Okay, I can do that. Someone has me fucking covered. Oh, fucking hell. I'm currently positioned directly above Sector F8. We discovered it at the very beginning of the expedition before everyone. Well, it was initially believed that this sector was impossible to navigate, a seemingly infinite field of pillars shrouded in absolute darkness. In fact, within our standard spatial model, it was impossible to cross. However, I have recently begun receiving a strange rhythmic signal originating from the far side of the field. This implies that navigation is possible via radio... Oh my god. Radiogon anemometer? Direction finder. Thank you. I have also deployed a local radio transmitter at my current position to ensure a safe route back on the display. The red tracker indicates the foreign signal. The yellow tracker marks my own. How do I bring it up? Dude, this place is kind of dope. I am moving towards it. However, it's off in this corner. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a line in the distance. Oh, here we go. Oh no, is that Alexandrov?
What the fuck was that?
Man, I don't know. Leaving camp and changing my location was the right move. Following the radio signal, I found them. The new expedition. More like a pack of illiterate murderers who think an AK-47 is the universal solution to all problems. They speak our language, yet they don't seem to share even a fraction of our scientific or engineering culture. How did they get here? Who in their right mind would approve this? Anyway, I don't think they would be of any use. Fantastic. Is this a secret? 1970, or at least it was before I got here. Time in this place is very relative. I was supposed to install the transmitter and return immediately, but instead, I'm probably stuck here forever. Fucking Petrov and Yavenko lured me into this, and that dodgy bastard, Captain Krasnov. They promised me I'd be promoted to professor, get a new apartment from the state. I never cared about advancing science for the sake of a bright future. It was just a job. I just wanted to live in peace with my family. While I was wandering these corridors, I stumbled upon the work of someone named Churenko. If he is right, this place exists completely outside of our concept of a timeline. The time here curves, wraps around itself, and behaves erratically. You can meet poor bastards from a completely different decade. Hell, you could probably even meet yourself from the past or the future. If only I could meet this Chernenko, or whatever is left of him. Maybe he knows how to get the hell out of here. Okay. That's a cool secret. I didn't expect to find. Okay, I'll be honest, straight up. This has to be one of the coolest liminal space games.
What? Another can?
Oh yeah, this is the new guys. Okay, it seems like they're speaking Russian, but I have no clue what they're saying. 97. Sergeant Voitenko, 5 hours inside the flash room. I'm sorry, the what? Junior Engineer Kabalov received 10 lashes. Handwritten note, that motherfucker of an associate professor keeps irritating me. Cut his fucking legs off. Let's see if his degree helps him walk out of here. Oh no. Does that mean who we just witnessed are walking around without a lower, like his legs? Was that Chenenkov? Head of Expedition Number 3, Captain Sterlenkov? Oh, dear Lord. Total catastrophe. I don't even know where to begin. A bunch of high-up assholes from the CIS committee in executive suits came to us, dumped a pile of classified documents on my desk, and said we need this project to continue. What? A project calculated by that ancient dick, yeah. Goddamn, I hate these Russian names. Yakovenko, the very project that has already killed at least 11 people, in the middle of a severe economic crisis. They just muttered something about a matter of international prestige and left. Of course, our funding is near zero. Somehow we managed to prepare the collider after 8 years of idleness. But when it came to assembling a team, we only had myself and 2 volunteers left from the Institute for the management. However, this wasn't an issue. They can no longer give us orders to scientists, but they can still command the army, meaning the so-called expedition now consists of 2 scientists, 1 engineer, and 7 soldiers who don't look friendly at all. By some miracle, the collider worked within expectations. We breached the space 2 days ago using Alexandrov's corrections to Yavenko's original equation, and yet the only order we have received so far is to stand by. Great. Okay. Well, thank you for the crowbar. Okay, let me double check 2 things. November 19th. So this happened before the other note. Sem Kamenko? Okay. Okay, so these are discipline. Okay, so who we just saw might not be who we think. I am genuinely confused. Two fucking morons got drunk in the pantry and one of them stabbed the other. The motherfucker kicked the bucket right there. Now his body has somehow merged with the pantry itself. The walls are literally bleeding. Some kind of gross, pulsating flesh has started growing all over them. The worst part is that this pantry is the only corridor that connects our computer lab with the rest of the base. How the fuck am I supposed to work on my program to get us out of here in this kind of environment? I complained to Stroganov, but he just smirked and said this problem might be turned into an opportunity, and that I should mind my own business. What the fuck does he mean by that? Who knows? Associative Professor Kurov. BL. Oh god. That guy might have lost his legs. Okay, so yesterday, communication with Moscow went dead. Today, Kiev isn't responding either. Astana, Minsk, Tashkent. I think absolutely nothing. The conclusion: nuclear war. Those diploma-wielding whiners are trying to tell me some fairy tales about radio waves and the time distortion. Have they lost their fucking minds? How the hell can time curve? It is not a rifle barrel. Enough. Our only chance of survival in here is island discipline. And he probably killed everyone. Well, not likely directly, but it does sound like his actions definitely led to that. And we found...
This is literal hell.
Okay, so it's not like eyeing me up or anything, but like... Holy fuck, is that creepy. Okay, bloodstained scrap. It's not a punishment. Stragov is blind. He doesn't understand. It's not a punishment, it's a wound. The walls, they don't just bleed, they breathe. They talk to me in Yoga's voice. Shaloga didn't die when he was stabbed. He just stopped being separate. He became everything. I can feel it under my fingernails. It's growing inside my skin. Why leave? The world outside is cold and dead. Moscow is dead. Everything is dead but here. Here it's warm. It's so warm. I don't want to go back to the barracks. Let me stay. Let me stay. Let me stay. Let me stay. Let me. That fucker just moved. So one of them got stabbed, became the whim, and then the other one just stopped leaving? The program attempts to collapse the local 30 geometric manifold by overloading the core collider loop. Designed... Okay, so this was designed by Kirov to exploit anomalies in the local space-time continuum. The system of differential equations describing the boundary layer remains unsolved due to the lack of raw computational power on the Pannonium 2 architecture. The variance calculation cannot be completed. Expected outcomes are 50-50. Either it's successful and the subject is ejected outside the boundaries of the local manifold back into the baseline reality, or 2. There's an architectural merge. The subject's physical maths and the cognitive matrix are compressed into the spatial geometry permanently, becoming an element of the infrastructure. I can finish the math. Stroganoff is at the door. God forgive us. Alright, let's run it. No shit. Okay, so we got ending A, merged and integrated. Oh, you can click the links and check everyone out. Oh, that's cool. Does it spit me back at the beginning?
Doc.
It
Doc, do you
does.
copy? Finally, the signal's through. Listen.
Okay, I might
the
skip
mission is
right
about
to
begin, so I have to read you the protocol
where I
line by
was.
line, according
So,
to the manual. Right.
I'll be
Protocol
back,
324.
and when I am,
By order
we'll
of the
get
Institute
ending
Party Department,
2, I guess?
regarding the
Which I'm pretty sure we just have to
implementation of the
backtrack
deep spatial
after
probe.
getting the crowbar.
3 hours
So,
ago,
I'll see you
our
in a
experimental
minute.
team confirmed that
Okay, so I'm back. I got the crowbar. And I'm just gonna dip. I don't think I need to explore anything. And I genuinely thought this was gonna take me longer. But once you know what you're looking for and where, it actually is a very short game. As like weird as that seems, do you wonder what's off in that direction, to be honest? But this place does give me a little bit of an uneasy feeling. So I think I'm good in my exploration. Also, I know I mentioned that I'm seeing like a weird line that was sticking out. And it turns out it didn't click the first time, but it did this time on what that was. And it was the light from the doorway. Which is kind of weird. But also kind of cool at the same time. Alright. Now what is behind this? And is it important? Yankovenko was nothing but a blind theorist. The bastard is probably dead by now, rotting in the luxurious Moscow apartment, while I'm rotting here because of him. I finally understand this place. The main issue isn't the spatial instability, it's time. Time here isn't linear, it's topographical. Its topology is closer to a 5-dimensional torus. All these infinite hallways and loops happen because we are traversing time, not space. You can turn a corner and end up where you started, not because the corridor is broken, but because the anomaly just resets you to the exact timestamp of your previous visit. more importantly, this dimension reacts to computations. I've been using my personal computer to alter the stability levels. I even wrote a program that could collapse this whole manifold and inject the user back to a stable baseline. But my hardware is a joke. The program requires a processor capable of at least 200 million operations per second. In 1986, such power is science fiction. I've saved the routine to a floppy disk and left it here. For me, it might be minutes, but decades will pass outside. I can only hope that the next expedition brings the machine powerful enough to run it. And now we take ourselves and get out. So the original program was flawed. And to be fair, Yurik didn't have enough time to complete it. But he did have the hardware. So I'll give credit where credit is due. He did good for the amount of time he had. The issue is a lack of time. I think the cool thing is, though, our character was, I guess canonically, putting like 2 and 2 together. When they first saw the equations. But it took, what, 27 years? Over 3 different teams. I don't know what I got stuck on, but okay. So yeah, 27 years over 3 teams to actually fix everything. The first team basically started everything. Second team basically solved the issue. But it wasn't until the third team arrived that the technology was here to actually, like, get them out. So now the question is,
This is literal hell.
I know, buddy. I know. Okay, so we want to run Chernov's program. So T. Oh, that actually might have an updated text. Oh! Did it work? After 27 years, can we go home?
Doc. Doc, do you copy? Finally, the signal's through. Listen, the mission is about to begin, so I have to read you the protocol line by line, according to the manual. Right? Protocol 324. By order of the Institutes. Wait, hold on. Oh, for fuck's sake. Doc, change of plans. The mission is cancelled. Turns out Yakovenko completely fucked up the math. There is no dimension down there. Just a bunch of empty space and solid rock. We're pulling the elevator back up. Let's go home.
Oh my god. We canceled. We solved the issue. No one gets sent in. But that means the dimensional space was there. It did exist. But when running the program 27 years in the future, it collapses everything all at once. Not just kicking us out, but preventing the loop from beginning in the first place, which is fascinating. But if this is a fifth dimensional, I'm going to call it an entity or space, then for us in the 3D, we move along time in a straight line. Meanwhile, a fourth dimensional being, to my knowledge, would move along time similar to how we move along space. And then I don't remember what the fifth dimension is, but basically, by collapsing spatial time into a non-spatial time, it should, in theory, get rid of not only the wonky timeline, but also the extra dimensional space as well. So that's actually kind of fascinating. But this is a weird game with a lot of theoretics behind it. And I'm not the biggest on quantum physics or like multi-dimensional stuff. I know like some bare basics, and I understand general concepts, but I am not smart enough to explain any of them. But from my understanding, this does seem accurate enough. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, I need to give my brain a break. So I'm going to leave it there. I think there's only 2 endings. I think. But this was actually a really, really cool game, both in concept and execution. And I actually I fucking hated it, but I liked how just absolutely quiet the game was. It was disturbing. And the few moments of actual, shock it threw at you actually hit a lot harder. This dev knows how to make a horror game, and holy fuck, does it hit. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it off there. So with that being said, thank you for tuning into The Frequency. This is the Rebel Lemon signing off. So good night and sweet nightmares.